31 minutes past the hour. You are listening and looking at the Rick and Bubba Show. Bubba has a look around the wacky world. A look around the wacky! Wacky! Ooh, baby. Watch out, big fella.
Well,
watch out there, big fella.
Take it easy.
I feel like Trevor all of a sudden.
Easy, easy.
You know, y'all didn't see it, but during the break, for some strange and unknown reason, I decided to hit myself in the head with my headphones.
Why did you do that?
And how about it hurt? Okay, a little more than I wanted it to, and it won't quit.
I thought the fact that Don Juan DeMarco forgot you don't put aluminum foil in the microwave may have got you all focused so bad.
Well, I was so hoping that was Dixie Spice had done that.
No,
I wished it was Dixie Spice. Wow, I look like a goodie standing there trying to beat the fire out.
Yeah, it's a fireworks show, isn't it?
Yeah. Uruguayan referee Carlos Acosta was killed while refereeing a match between two clubs in Uruguay this past weekend. A 40-year-old ref was attacked by a group of ultras who stormed into the pitch after Acosta had sent off a player. In other words, he'd give him a red card, Rick, and thrown him out of the game.
Since you're up on all that now.
One attacker used an iron bar and struck a fatal blow to the nape of Acosta's neck. Although the crowd scattered, the assailant has been identified by police. This incident is just one of a number of violent scenes seen in Uruguayan soccer recently, but this also raises more safety concerns about the sport.
Sure it does. Most violent sport in the world.
You know, there's something, and I'll just tell you, it's kind of strange to me because when you see somebody get thrown out of a soccer game, you have the referee, or whatever they call them, run up to him and go,
I know,
and put that card up. Now, to me, I prefer the way they throw people out in baseball.
Yes.
You got to admit, now you can get thrown out
them up, baby.
When you get thrown out of a football game, even really, you usually don't even know what happened.
There's so much mass confusion.
There's a fight or something, and they go, hey, why is 74 coming out of the game?
Yeah,
where's he going?
And you see the ref and the coach arguing.
Yeah, and the guys you're listening to on the radio going, hey, it appears 74's been sent to the shower.
Someone's been ejected. I like that word.
Yeah, ejected from the game.
Ejected.
I mean, there's no, and you know, the referee will come out and, you know, he'll personal foul you and all this stuff, and you really, you know, but to me, I much prefer baseball. It's very clear when you're gone. You know,
oh, yes, sir.
You know, give you the back or whatever.
Sure.
And plus, I like the fact that you can argue. You don't see that.
So mean.
You just don't see that in the other sports. You realize they get up, and I mean, they're nose to nose with the referee. And, I mean, you just don't see that in other sports. Now, that part of it is very funny, and I hate that you don't get to see like Earl Weaver.
Watch out.
Yeah, him too. Earl Weaver.
Earl Weaver.
Yeah, Earl Weaver. Now, he was a fighter, buddy.
Earl Weaver. I didn't know you knew him because he lived 2 streets over from us on Foster. But he was a fighter, though.
Oh, that's so funny. I love when they turn their hats around so they can get closer in the guy's face.
Sure.
Billy Martin, he was a good one. You remember him kicking dirt? That used to be my favorite, kicking dirt.
Well, what I love about playing...
I mean, pile him up. Lou Piniella, he's pretty good,
yeah.
too.
What I like about football is you can dress somebody down and you got a helmet on and nobody can see it, and you can really be lighting somebody up. You know, and all of a sudden you'll just see that flag fly. So that's what it's confusing. Yeah. What happened?
Yeah.
Where did
it come from? In baseball, you know who it is. It's the guy right in your face.
Right. Yeah, but in the soccer, though, but they get you their card.
Oh, the dreaded 3x5 cards.
Oh, wow.
You know, when they do that, it's almost like you think they're handing you like a coupon or something.
I know. It's
for a combo meal.
For the fans to be so violent, that sure is kind of a passive way to throw somebody out, you know? I like...
How about last night? I hadn't gotten into the whole thing, but I've had a referee use some strategy against me I wasn't ready for.
Oh, really? When you were heckling him?
Yeah, because, of course, I'm heckling. And Boomer had a football game last night in what we call the West Nile Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And it really caught on. I don't know if y'all have noticed people's attitude toward mosquitoes now with the West Nile virus killing people all over the Southeast.
Oh, I just don't go out after dark.
You know, the thing about when you're still in what's called Little League, because even though Boomer's at the last year of Little League, from here he'll move on into actual middle school play or, no weight limits and all that. This is the last one. You basically play on whatever field people let you play on. And there's just one field we play on in the league he plays in, and we call it the West Nile Bowl.
A little low?
The water backs up in there, and the mosquitoes, I'm not exaggerating.
Oh, Rick, come on,
Let
man.
me tell you how bad the mosquitoes were. The refs were asking for help. They were looking at anybody got anything. They were so big, I'm not exaggerating this, and one of the parents will confirm it. I'm standing there next to, Boomer's stepdad, David. We're locked in because we have to get a position we can really watch and heckle the refs and tell the coach they don't know what they're doing. We got to really get up there and get...
Be basically good little league parents.
Right, and so we can be an example to our kids. So we're there. A mosquito hit my face, and it was so big, my face moved. Look, everybody would. There were 3 people that witnessed it. I'm sitting there, look, and my head goes... And I went, what was that? David said, my gosh, there's a mosquito on your face. He said, I nearly punched you. He said, I wanted to punch you to save you from it. Like that. I mean, the water is just seeping. It backs up. And look, and I go, I bet there's no mosquitoes in there. And they were so bad, there became a point where the players, the referees, and the fans, and I know this is going to sound shocking, surviving the mosquitoes was more important. People were like, if we can just get out of it, because you know what you think when you get nailed that many times. Hey, I've got it now.
And sometimes the mosquitoes get a hold of you. You start not thinking right, making, bad calls and stuff. I mean,
right. You might even go for it on 4th and 15 in your own territory.
Wow.
So I was thinking about it in a nothing.
Or he's already got West Nile. I mean, I don't know.
In a nothing game. I said, my gosh, we have been bitten. But anyway, but hey, what do I know? So anyway, But the mosquitoes, I'm talking when they're so big, you can feel them around you. Oh, yeah. You can kind of feel their legs kind of, you know what I mean? How about to the point that it made my face move?
Rick, I understand
that was him landing. He landed, and I like that. And I love the line, hey, I almost punched you, just because it was so big.
Well, where I grew up, our Little League fields was at a place called Germania Springs.
Yeah, okay. That hole where you couldn't even see the opposing team?
Where it is springs. I mean, there's water. And we used to have some of the biggest mosquitoes known to man. Seriously, I had one land on my arm one night, and I started screaming, there's a bat on me.
Yeah, that's the way it was. That's exactly the way it was.
And not only did they bite you, they'll try to carry you away. And you're like, help!
That's the way it was. I was out there at one point, I said, my gosh, there's bats out here. Somebody said, ain't bats. And you already said, you dread playing there. Put it this way. Most of the time, there's little kids running everywhere. People decide when this field is where you're playing, people just won't bring their kids.
No,
because they said, well, look, it'll suck you.
How many people?
There was one kid, they swore last year, I went home and I weighed Big Love because I made the mistake because I didn't know about the West Nile Bowl.
Right.
We played there last year. Went home, weighed Big Love, he lost 4 pounds. It was, because I felt so they were just pulling off of him.
Sure.
Oh, if you got a little baby, they'll take him off. If you got a lud, people would strap him in. You could see the little strollers where the mosquito was trying to get him up out of there. These things are huge.
You begin to wonder if, like, when the sprayer comes by, they're not feeding on it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, good, supper's here.
And let me tell you what you hate. And everybody knows what I'm about to say. See, they're all in this area of where we live, hoping I won't say it. But we're down there in the West Nile Bowl. And there's perfectly level, dry, with good drain off and everything, soccer fields by the droves over at this brand new park. Of course, the football team don't get to play over there. Football team's on the practice field where in the swamp, like fighting off these gigantic mosquitoes.
How,
the soccer team's got droves of field, brand new park, and all that, and as they're kicking it around.
Did anybody say, hey, we're still under West Nile alert? We shouldn't be out here in these mosquitoes?
No.
Nobody would even say it.
Well, what's that got to do with, what's that got to do with getting the game on? You know what I mean? Well, it's part of the elements. Hey, let me tell you something. If you had some spray, you were very popular.
Sure.
And it got to the point where people would still spray if they didn't bring it because they just wanted to live. You talk about people say, man, he was a crazed thief. He couldn't help it. He was on crack.
Oh, wow.
He had to help his family. You remember that? He had to help his family.
Yeah.
People got to where I feel like if I don't get some repellent on me, I could die. So I will steal it just because I can't help it.
Well, too, maybe the band boosters or whoever runs the concession stand ought to start selling it.
Sell it.
You go up there and go, well, I'll have a hot dog, give me some nachos with cheese, hold the peppers. I need a large Coke and 1 can of Deep Woods Off, please.
Or carry it around like you do at the game. Get your off. Here's off. Get your off.
No, let me tell you something. Y'all wrong something. If they had done that last night, they would have paid for new uniforms.
Oh,
sure.
wow.
Because, the West Nile's scare. I mean, when you're out there like that, it wasn't just kind.
I'm scared of it. It's changed the way I act at night. I don't go out anymore.
Let me tell you what the new strategy is, though, the refs played on me.
I'd rather eat ice cream in the recliner. It's much safer.
Let me tell you what the refs played on me now.
I thought y'all give me a little more on that, by the way, but that's okay.
I got on him because, to me, if you blow the whistle, the play's dead.
Right.
Nobody can recover a fumble after you've blown the whistle.
Right.
Okay? And he looks at me and says, hey, get off my back. I just went over and bought a cheeseburger at your restaurant. I said, well, good game, ref.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba. Rick and Bubba, Rick and
We're back, 12 minutes to the top of the hour. Our toll-free number is 877-WE-BE-BIG. Phone bank is full. Bubba, people also watching on Turner South want you to stand up where they can see your shirt better.
Okay.
Mark, Bobby Bowden, can you Bobby Bowden get Bubba's shirt? They want to be able to see what it looks like.
Where is Bobby Bowden at?
And people are asking,
is that camera not working?
Yeah, there he goes. He's got it. And so that's what it looks like. Now it's got a rip on the side.
Yeah, don't look at that. And there's the back.
Is that what? And Bubba got that at Universal Studios in Orlando when we were there in June.
Yeah, see, I tore it or something right here.
I hope Betty can fix that, because if not, that thing's going to come completely apart. Don't do that, Bubba. Don't do that. You're going to tear it worse.
I don't know what happened to it. I don't remember it ripping. I think I just rubbed the seam out of it.
So that's where he got it at. Do you want to do the letter or phones here?
What do you got over there, Rick?
A lot of West Nile, something about Sesame Street, and a comment on the TV show.
Well, let me read this email quickly, and then we'll go to phones.
Okay.
Because this is important, Rick. This is why we're here. Subject, Rick and Bubba, you saved our marriage. 2.5 years ago, I moved to Sevierville, Tennessee from Alexander City, Alabama, to accept a job here. The move was particularly hard for my wife, who had, because she had not lived in Alabama, because she had lived in Alabama most of her life. Seriously, I do know how to read.
Do you really?
And I actually read over this one time. But it was also because she was moving away from her family. And we were also moving to an area that didn't have Rick and Bubba on the radio. I felt so sorry for her.
I hate to even think about that.
She would just sit in the car and have the radio tuned to 94.5, the station that she used to listen to you on, listening to static, hoping to hear anything that resembled the Rick and Bubba show fading in. Then she tried to listen on the internet, but our connection was just too slow. It just kept locking up, and she would hear about every fifth word or so.
Oh.
She had resorted to listening to old tapes of the show that we had recorded and the best of CDs that you have on your website. She had listened to them so much she could literally quote every bit on them. Well, yesterday her sister called her to tell her that you're now on Turner South every morning. You should have seen her reaction. I thought we had just won the lottery. She was so excited. This morning, when she saw those two bobblehead dolls riding on the dashboard of the TV, yes. I thought I saw a tear of joy coming down her cheek. Boy. In all seriousness, it's really great to be able not only to hear the show, but see what's going on. I think the show is better than ever, and I'm glad to hear that you're gaining such a large audience. By the way, the bit where you guys was messing with the closed caption guy on me and my wife. We were laughing so hard that our sides were hurting. Keep up the great work. Looking forward to seeing you again. Yours truly, Michael Wells.
Michael, how about that? We love it.
And he also says, P.S., where can I get one of those Rick and Bubba bobblehead dolls?
There's that again. We're working on that.
Look, folks, please.
There's not a lot of budget for the TV part.
Yeah, let's focus on best of CDs, and we'll work on that later.
She commenced the Shaving Hit stores on October the 15th, and will be available on the internet. We're working on the bobbleheads.
Yes.
Nobody wishes they were available more than us.
And, by the way, I appreciate the Skip Carey bobblehead I got. I was going to set it in here today, and I forgot to
That's
do
right.
it. I'll have it tomorrow.
I've got one, too. Thanks. Let's go to the
in
phones.
honor of the Bravos.
Beth is in Center, Alabama. Beth, how you doing?
Hey, Beth.
Hi, how are you?
We're good.
We're great.
I know you don't remember me. It's been a really long time since y'all been in Center, Alabama.
Well, last time we were there, Bubba was kicked a woman in the chest because she tried to put a snake on him.
Well, that may have been similar to something that had happened. I worked for a food company that used to advertise with y'all a lot, and my husband used to come in. He was lawyer boy at the time.
You talking about Huddle House?
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't worked for them in a long time, but I just have been watching you on Turner South because we can't pick you up on a radio station here in Center.
Let's
So
see.
You can't get to Gadsden Station?
No, it doesn't pick up very well here.
Yeah.
Well, good. We're glad
good.
you're able to see. Are you watching? Are you watching right now?
Yes.
You'll see it in a minute.
Okay.
There it is.
Oh, there you go.
So good to let you hear,
But
folks.
I just want to call and say I love you on Turner South. The Spider-Man shirt is great.
And didn't your husband turn in from lawyer boy to judge boy?
He is Judge Boy.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Tell him we said thanks.
Yes, and we just went and did a field trip at that Germain Springs the other day, and the mosquitoes did try and carry us off, so we had to come home.
I'm gonna tell you.
And possibly the coldest water ever known to man.
I agree. But I just want to say I'm so glad I got on with you guys, and I'm going to purchase some of those bobbleheads for my boys as soon as you get them for sale.
Why can't we get the bobblehead thing done? Thank you very much, Beth.
Thanks. Bye.
We're behind the bobblehead curve just a little bit.
I remember playing at Germania Springs in football, and you couldn't see the opposing team.
It had the
There was a
highest
hump.
rise in the middle of, well, a field, most of them have a rise in the middle, so the water will run off of it. But this one was severe. As a matter of fact, if you were like on a hash mark on one side and you had to run uphill, you just didn't, you ran always to the short side of the field because you couldn't get over the hump.
You had to go
the other
downhill.
way. Yeah.
And I remember people going, I wonder who we're playing today. I
Sure.
don't know.
If you was quick enough and got somebody spread out like a wide receiver, they could hide behind the hill and nobody'd cover them.
Right.
And you just throw it and hope somebody caught it.
Let's go to Amber in Double Springs, Alabama. Amber, how are you?
Hi, Rick and Bubba.
Hey.
How are y'all?
We're good.
Thank you, Grass.
Thank you so much. Glad you called. Hurting a little bit on time, so go ahead and get to the
Hurry,
meeting.
Amber.
Well, I just wanted to ask y'all, since y'all have kids, and I do too, if y'all have heard about the latest Sesame Street character.
Now, is this the one that's HIV positive or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, we heard about it.
Don't tell me it's Bert.
No. No, it's a new one. I think it's a little girl, but they had a little clip about it on CNN last night. And one of the other characters was looking at a scrapbook that the little character had and was asking why it was for. And she said it was so she could keep in touch with her mother because her mother died of AIDS.
Well, that's a happy story there on Sesame.
Yeah.
Seems a little heavy for the kids. Why don't we let them be children for a while?
Watch Bert keep you on.
Bubba, Rick and Bubba.